Well, Republicans are pushing for the government to make border security the top priority these days, while the Obama administration prefers to tackle an immigration overhaul first. Here's what you had to say about that. According to a just-released Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll, 47% of Americans believe that our borders are just as secure as they were 5 years ago. 26% say they're less secure. 19% believe they're more secure. Joining us now, Sara Carter, national security correspondent for the Washington Examiner. She has covered violence at the border extensively. Sara, thanks for being with us.
Thanks,
how
Greg.
bad is it?
It's bad. I mean, this is very serious. These drug cartels have become more and more brazen. It's pretty self-evident that our borders are pretty porous and that there's a serious problem at the borders when drug cartel members are battling each other for transit routes into the U.S. They would not be fighting this egregiously if there wasn't a way in. I mean, if we were stopping the flow, they wouldn't be fighting over these transit routes.
When you
I think
say
that's something
transit
that people
routes, are you talking about drug and human trafficking, or?
That's right. We're talking about contraband, from human trafficking to narcotics to illegal products to the movement of these cartel members and their ability to move money and weapons back and forth across the border, both from the U.S. to Mexico and from Mexico to the United States. And these transit routes, these routes that they use to move their product, are of high value to them, so they want to control them. And a lot of this has to do with the major cartels, for example, Sinaloa cartel, who wants to control the Arizona border. Their leader is Chapo Guzman. He still hasn't been captured.
Right.
And for anyone to say that the problem is getting better, that they're squeezing these cartels, I mean, to some extent, yes.
Well,
President Calderon has really enforced the military enforcement over the last 4 years of his presidency to try to stop this. But the problem is that these cartels have embedded themselves into the system. And now that they're in the system, it's hard to get them out.
So when Congressman Pete Stark of California declares, and I'll quote, "Our borders are quite secure," and indeed, in a videotape that has been seen all over television and the internet, he mocks those who are concerned about our border. Is he wrong?
He is wrong. According to the people that I speak with, the work that I've done on the border, I have been back and forth from Laredo to Nuevo Laredo, into Juarez, into Tijuana, across the Arizona border into Sonora, from Douglas over the border. And what I have seen is a very porous and dangerous border. Yeah. And it's the reason why we see the people in Arizona complaining. It's the reason why, the ranchers in Texas and in Arizona and people in California, along the Tijuana border aren't crossing over anymore to vacation in Mexico. Right. Because the violence has escalated to a point where it's so brutal that they're chopping the heads off of police officers and leaving them as a statement.
So when Congressman Pete Stark declares our borders are quite secure, try telling that to the families of those murdered police officers and the homecoming queen who was murdered, and the former, the Arizona rancher who was murdered. I'm afraid we're out of time, but Sara Carter, we'll have you back again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.